Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And today we are talking books and manga and Funko Pops. So mostly books though. But today I am going to share with you guys the books that I've picked up in the last month. And I figured this would be a good spot to put in the Funko Pops I've grabbed also. Only one manga that I picked up, but 3 Funko Pops, and then some middle grade books, and of course some media tie-in novels, which you guys know I love. So excited to share these with you guys. I know that book hauls are not the most popular thing I do here on the channel, but if you're watching, I really do appreciate you. So thank you so much for that. And if you're here, if you could hit that like button, that engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my Funko and book haul for the month of September. So I'll start with the Funko Pops, and I'll say right now, they're all wrestling related. So I think I want to say I got all of these from GameStop. That may or may not be right. But anyway, the first one here is good old Dusty Rhodes, who you gotta love. I absolutely love the son of a plumber. Obviously, younger fans will know Cody Rhodes. This is his father of Gold Dust as well. Like, I love that whole family. That is a wrestling dynasty as far as I'm concerned. And this one, of course, is his ridiculous polka dot look from the 80s WWF, but still I was happy to find this figure. I love Dusty Rhodes, so I had to pick this one up. Dusty is just one of the legends of the sport, so very happy to add Dusty Rhodes to my Funko Pop wrestling collection. These next two I know I picked up from GameStop, and I am so happy to have these. I only need one more now to have all of his characters. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Honestly, like, top 2, top 3 easily. I don't know exactly where, maybe even number 1 some days, but I love Mick Foley. And so they had not only Dude Love, the least favorite of his gimmicks, but they also had the favorite of his gimmicks, Cactus Jack. I love Mick Foley, just a man of many faces, and these two look fantastic. Dude Love looks awesome, and then Cactus Jack has the whatever that's called, trash can in it. It's very Royal Rumble. What year was that? 1998, I think. That's what it reminds me of. But yeah, just an awesome couple of figures here. This one's actually a GameStop exclusive. So now I just have to get Mankind. I'm assuming there has to be a Mankind figure. That was his most popular character. So I love Mankind as well. But yeah, these are like, Cactus Jack is what made me fall in love with Mick Foley in the first place, thanks to the IWA King of the Deathmatch 1995. Got that on tape and absolutely fell in love with it. Him and Terry Funk, another legend. But yeah, so I'm very happy I was able to find both of these. And if I find Mankind, it'll absolutely be in a future haul, because I need to have Mankind to have the 3 faces of Foley in the collection. So Dude Love and Cactus Jack are the other 2 wrestling pops I grabbed. And that's going to do it for the pop figures over the past month or so. So now let's jump over. I guess I'll start with the single manga I picked up. So I was able to find a manga that I'd been considering picking up like months and months ago when they started re-releasing these in like the 3-pack volume sets, but I just never got around to it. And then one day I was at Disc Replay and they happened to have it for like $5, which is very cheap. Maybe it was like $7 or $8. I don't know. It was cheap, whatever it was. Normally $20, because this is volumes 1, 2, and 3. So the 3-pack of Shaman King. Now this is one that the only reason I was interested in picking it up is because I think it's a pretty popular one. It says on the back here, the best-selling classic returns in a new omnibus edition, and it's a really cheap way to get volumes. Even if you buy a new, 3 volumes are only $20, so it's a really good price. They have released a ton of these now, so obviously I missed the boat on that. I say months ago, it was probably a year or so ago when they started releasing these, but this is one that looked interesting to me, and because it's such a popular one, I wanted to give it a shot, so I figured for the ridiculously low price at Disc Replay, I might as well grab it. So this, of course, is about a character who is trying to be a Shaman King. I believe this character's name is Yo. His dream's a big one, to become the Shaman King, the one and only shaman who may commune with the Great Spirit. So it's much like with One Piece, which I'm vlogging through right now. Luffy wants to become King of the Pirates. We have Yan wanting to become Shaman King. So looking forward to reading this. Maybe I will do a vlog on this one in the future. I have no idea. There's some other things I want to get to first though. But yeah, so happy to add Shaman King to the collection. And that is the only manga volumes, whatever you want to call it, that I ended up picking up recently. So let's jump over to some of the middle grade I found. So I have 3 middle grade books here, and 2 of them I actually found while we were out garage sailing back. So I guess this had to be toward the end of July, but these are some random things I paid like 50 cents each for, or maybe even less than that. But the first one here is an American Chillers book. This one is book number 9, Iron Insects Invade Indiana, of course written by Jonathan Rand, like all of these are. So yeah, this is just another one from the American Chillers series. If you don't know, these are very much middle grade horror books in the vein of something like Goosebumps, where it's going to be standalone stories as you work your way through the book. So I have quite a number of these, but I've not read any of the American Chillers or the Michigan Chillers, which is another series that he does. But looking forward to reading through some of these, and I'll always pick them up when they're dirt cheap like this. So yeah, I love middle grade and I love horror. What's not to love here? American Chillers, book number 9, Iron Insects Invade Indiana, written by Jonathan Rand. The other middle grade book I grabbed while I was out garage sailing was The Phantom Toll Booth, and this one is written by Norton Juster, illustrated by Jules Pfeiffer. So this is one that I've actually heard about recently as being just kind of an all-timer, but I don't know it at all. It's supposed to be really great though, and so I figured since I'd heard about it recently and I happened to see it at the garage sale, I might as well grab it. Another one I paid like 50 cents for, so super cheap. But I believe this is like a fantasy story where our main character is going to have something to do with a phantom toll booth, but I don't really know too much more than that, and I want to keep it that way. I've heard that this is definitely a book that you can read as an adult and still appreciate, so that's why I'm very intrigued to check this one out. If you know anything about it, let me know. Is it as good as I'm hearing it is, or was I led astray? Let me know what your thoughts are on this one. But this is The Phantom Toll Booth, written by Norton Juster. The last middle grade I grabbed, I actually picked up from my local used bookstore, and recently I started actually taking a couple bags in to do trades. So it's really weird how they work it, but
approximately 10 hours later.
The point being, I used that credit to buy this. This is Night Books, written by J.A. White, author of the Thickety series, whatever that is. But this is one I've heard really good things about. It's supposed to be a horror book, light horror fantasy maybe, but it's based around the world of books and a library and, our main character loving scary stories. So just sounds really cool, and I've heard great things about it. So I figured I would give it a shot and see what it's all about. And again, since it's normally $7, I only paid in cash 25% of that. So really good deal on it. You can't beat it. It's like $1 something or whatever. So yeah, very happy to add Night Books to the collection and excited to see what this one's all about. All right, so let's move over to the media tie-in books, and that's what the rest of this haul is all media tie-in, which you guys know I'm obsessed with. So the first one here is actually media tie-in based on a video game. This is Dead Island, the book, written by Mark Morris. So I have played Dead Island. I've played maybe, 4 to 5 hours of the game. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of video games that have like degrading weapons and equipment. This is not my favorite mechanic. It is what it is, but I enjoyed it otherwise for what this was. Pretty interesting story. And so I figured let's pick up the book because why not? I actually found this one at 2nd and Charles for really cheap. So I want to read it and see what it's all about. I don't even know if this is like a prequel to the video game, a sequel, if it takes place at the same time. I really don't know, but I'm in. I'll see what this one is all about, and then maybe it'll like convince me to go back and play the game again. So we'll see. This is Dead Island, the book, written by Mark Morris. This next one is a straight novelization, which I'm all about. This is based on Lost in Space. We have the novelization for the all-new Lost in Space film, of course, the reboot or remake from the classic TV series. And this one is written by Joan D. Vinge, I'm guessing is how you would say that. So yeah, we will see if this one is any good. This is one that does have the pictures in the middle, which you guys know I always talk about, and I always love that, so that's fun. But yeah, this is the novelization for Lost in Space. Now, Lost in Space is a movie I've actually not seen before. I feel like I've seen episodes of the original TV show, not very many, but I remember seeing something about it in the past. But the movie, the updated film, is nothing I never actually got around to. So yeah, excited to see what this one is all about. I'm sure I'll watch the movie before I read the novelization, but hopefully I will enjoy it when I get around to it. This is Lost in Space, written by Joan D. Vinge. The other novelization that I found recently is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I know this movie gets a lot of hate. I've actually not seen this one either, but it's one I definitely have to check out now since I have the novelization for it. And this one is written by, you can see here, K.J. Anderson, which I'm certain is Kevin J. Anderson, who is huge in the Star Wars world. He's written so many different Star Wars novels over the years, and some that I've read and enjoyed. So definitely excited to check this one out. He's a great writer, so I'm assuming the prose will be well written, even if the story might not be the greatest. But this is another one. I definitely need to watch the film before I read the novelization. And a lot of times, once I do that, if I don't love the movie, once I read the novelization, I actually tend to enjoy things more. So yeah, very happy to add another novelization to the collection. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, written by K.J. Anderson. Everything else in this haul is all Star Wars, and I got them all from my local used bookstore, so I paid about $2.50 each on these, which is not bad at all, because again, doing that store credit thing. So the first four are actually the next books I needed in the new Jedi Order series. So we have book number 2, Dark Tide 1, Onslaught, written by Michael Stackpole. And then Dark Tide 2, Ruin, also written by Michael A. Stackpole. So this is book 2 and book 3 of the new Jedi Order series. I already have book 1, which is Vector Prime, I believe. And then book 4 is New Jedi Order, Agents of Chaos, Heroes Trail. And this is a James Luceno book, along with the Agents of Chaos 2, Jedi Eclipse. So again, book 4 and book 5. So with all 4 of these now in the collection, that means that I have books 1 through 5 of the new Jedi Order series, which I've heard really good things about. I've yet to start this series, but I absolutely will at some point. And so I figured, since these are so cheap, and my used bookstore, when they get Star Wars books in, they honestly just don't last that long typically. So I figured because these were the next 4 I needed, I might as well grab them. So Star Wars New Jedi Orders books 2 through 5. I don't know why that's so hard for me to get, but yeah, we have James Luceno and Michael A. Stackpole as writers on these 2 different series. I guess those would technically be duologies within the larger series, but you guys knew what I meant. But anyway, the next 2 are also by James Luceno. The first one here is Star Wars Labyrinth of Evil. And this one is actually the prequel to Episode 3. It takes place after Episode 2, right before Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And so this is following Obi-Wan and Anakin and kind of their trials and tribulations leading up to the big epic moments in Star Wars Episode 3. So I figured I would grab this one because, again, the Star Wars books don't last very long, and it's one I didn't own in the collection. And then last but not least, like I said, also by James Luceno, this is Millennium Falcon. So this is one that is supposed to basically be like a prequel to the Millennium Falcon, or just kind of a history of the Millennium Falcon and the different battles it's been in since it was created, all the way through to where we see it in Episode 4. So very excited to read about Millennium Falcon. Obviously, it's an amazing, iconic ship, so I'm sure this one is going to be a lot of fun. Whoever owned these books, they clearly all came from the same person, because they had a bunch of it had to be cat hair or something on them, and so I still see it flying around, even though I tried cleaning it off while I was at the bookstore. It's still flying around here. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So the Millennium Falcon and Labyrinth of Evil, both written by James Luceno of the Star Wars series. So 2 books for that collection, which I always love adding to, and those are going to be the last 2 books that I've picked up recently. All right, so there is my latest stack of book pickups, and I think it's a pretty fun stack. Now, I said at the beginning that was like the September book haul, but honestly, that's probably like 2+ months worth of books that I've picked up, because I just haven't been picking up very many books lately. I'm actually trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to purge a lot of books, which when you look at this, you think, well, what are you doing then? But there's a lot of older books that I picked up like years and years ago that I just don't see myself getting around to. Honestly, I do audiobooks more than I do anything outside of like manga and graphic novels, things like that. But I read a lot of audiobooks. And so while I love having my physical book collection, I need to pare it down. And that's what I've been doing. That's why I've been taking some books to my local used bookstore. I took boxes and boxes of books to donate recently, just because I didn't think they were worth anything. So yeah, just like middle grade and media tie-in. That's kind of my thing, and that's what I will always continue to collect. Obviously, I love horror as well, but I just have a lot of those too, so I really don't need any more. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. I would love to hear from you guys down below. Have you read any of these? Do you like my Funkos that I picked up? What do you recommend I put towards the top of the list? And what books have you been picking up lately? If anything cool, let me know what it is down below. If you think man, Brandon might like that. Tell me about that down below as well. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this one, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. And like I always say, I don't just talk books or Funkos. I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching this one. And I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.